looking for an edge in the fantasy football arena? Not sure which talking head to trust? Why not watch for yourself how today's heroes stack up in a head-to-head battle where the fans will decide their fate. Let's see what makes these elite gladiators so deadly, and maybe even find out if there's any chinks in their armor. Today we dive into the NFC East and break down two stud receivers who could make or break the Super Bowl hooks for their respective teams. Despite being just under average height for a wide receiver, A.J. Brown is among the heaviest in the league, and it's not because he's out of shape. At 227 pounds of near solid muscle, Brown is built like a Mack truck designed specifically for plowing through defenders. Brown shows above average speed for any wide receiver, but it's particularly impressive for one carrying his weight. He isn't especially quick, but once he gets moving, momentum takes over and his speed becomes a serious weapon. Based on his broad and vertical jump, the numbers are roughly average, but again, it's his weight that puts him into perspective and makes them more impressive. Brown is able to take the athletic feats of an NFL wide receiver and somehow replicate them in an ultra-muscular body. Let's find out how his competition stacks up in comparison. CeeDee Lamb is a bit taller than the average NFL wide receiver, and unlike Brown, is also a bit lighter. He has the length to bring in errant passes, but a slight build like his can make physical style of play very difficult. Lamb has enough speed to win if he uses it well, but not enough to exploit it and blow by defenders. At right around NFL average, it is neither an asset nor a liability. Here again, Lamb is solid but unspectacular, showing athletic abilities roughly on par with an average NFL wide receiver. His on-field production has shown him to be far better than average, of course, and that's why we examine the tools and techniques to make him elite. Let's look at today's weapons of choice. CeeDee Lamb was one of the most polished wide receiver prospects we'd ever seen coming out of the draft, and a big part of that was due to his advanced football IQ. Lamb has a natural feel for the game that enables him to make plays both with and without the ball in his hands. He's able to read zone coverage and find soft spots to make himself open for his quarterback, earning trust and repeated targets. With the ball in his hands, he is able to quickly assess his blockers and find developing running lanes that only briefly exist. His ability to predict the development of the play like this allows him to take advantage of other tools at his disposal, such as his explosiveness. CeeDee may not be a straight-line speedster, but his change of direction abilities are among the best in the league. He is able to consistently gain separation from defenders by exploding off the line, making himself a friendly target for his quarterback almost immediately. Being open early and being open consistently are the best ways to guarantee target volume, and Lamb does both well. His explosiveness is even more dangerous when he has the ball in his hands, at which point the suddenness of his stops and starts can make him impossible to tackle in the open field. His ability to change direction so quickly makes it difficult for defenders to commit to a good pursuit angle and usually results in extra yards after the catch. The fact that he is so explosive also makes opponents looking to tackle him all the more susceptible to his final weapon, elusiveness. It begins with his routes, which are built on smooth footwork and subtle deceptive motions that keep defenders guessing and allow him to separate. He is one of the best in the league at keeping opponents guessing until he's completely committed to the route, and by that point he's usually open. With the ball in his hands, Lamb is even harder to follow, spinning, juking, and just generally doing whatever is necessary to avoid being tackled. Lamb is simply able to go wherever his opponents are not, and he does it whether he has the ball or not. It's unsurprising to find that an elite receiver with average physical traits has a game that is largely dependent on strategy and technique. Let's find out if his counterpart wins a similar way. Spoiler alert, he does not. First and foremost, A.J. Brown wins with power. All that muscle isn't just for show. Brown absolutely bullies defenders, using his immense physical strength to gain separation, win hand fights, and box out opponents for contested catches. And that's before he has the ball. Once he does, he has a full arsenal of tools, but what makes him terrifying and unique with the ball is his ability to simply go through defenders. There's no need to take an angle or be elusive when you can run someone over, and Brown very much can. Unfortunately for his opponents, his physical gifts don't stop there. He may not be quick, but once Brown gets moving, he has serious speed. It doesn't catch your eye immediately, as he's not particularly quick, but Brown has the sort of speed that builds up until suddenly he's like a train barreling down the field, and you're wondering how that guy could ever have had his speed clocked as average. Once he has the ball in his hands, he turns upfield with aggression and gains momentum as he runs, often depending on his physicality at first before building up speed and making one of the big plays he is increasingly known for. He has the kind of speed that becomes almost unstoppable when combined with his power. This speed is a problem once Brown has the ball, but only a few routes include a long enough straight for him to reach top speed. Those that do also require a quarterback with a consistently big, accurate arm. Luckily for Brown, Jalen Hurts has both, and the two of them have excellent chemistry. Jalen Hurts is not only one of the most talented quarterbacks currently in the NFL, he is also one of Brown's close friends. More importantly, his game complements AJ's beautifully. Hurts has the massive arm to make long throws as well as the mobility to keep the plays alive while Brown builds up speed. This combination played to the advantage of the Eagles repeated last year whenever a scrambling Hurts completed yet another long bomb. The combination of Hurts and Brown makes the Eagles a threat to score at literally any moment from anywhere. But it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Of course, even superstars have weaknesses that could limit their ceiling. Let's take a look at the Achilles heels that could bring down today's heroes. Out-muscled. For all his skills, CeeDee can struggle with the limits of his smaller frame and sometimes gets beat at the catch point by strong physical defenders. His physicality and strength have improved since entering the league, but they will likely always hold him back from being an elite contested catch threat. This limits his target volume and in turn his ultimate upside. Crowded room. Brown has all the muscle he could ever need, but there may not be enough football to go around. His Eagles have a stacked offense and Jalen Hurts will need to feed him Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert as well as several pass-catching running backs. While this is likely to guarantee a lot of offensive opportunity, that pie also has to be split a lot of ways. If you're looking for true wide receiver numbers, you always look to target volume, and Brown may struggle to find that. Worthy combatants both, but in the end, only one can walk out of the arena victorious. Would you rather have the explosive player who can change directions on a dime and leave defenders tripping over their own feet? Or would you rather have the juggernaut player who simply runs through defenders on their way to the ball? Would you rather have the route technician who will get himself open every play? Or would you rather have a human truck whose quarterback can throw him open every play? Become more than just a spectator in the Fantasy Coliseum by leaving your best comments, thumbs up or thumbs down, for your favorite heroes. The fate of today's gladiators lies in your hands for Season 2. Press subscribe now for more excitement and entertainment from Football Moxie.